Alright, so getting straight into it, one of the first things that I always recommend beginners to do when they first get started and they're confused about exactly what step they need to take is to replicate a successful dropshipping store. This was one of the biggest game changers for me personally, because once I realized that there's no point me trying to do everything myself, that's when I now started looking up to bigger stores that were doing things in the correct way. Whether it was the products that they were selling, whether it was the way that they structured their store, I was now going to use those same tactics to one of my first ever stores, and that's what helped me get to the point of making my first 6 figures in profit. So just to give you an example of what you can do straight after watching this video, if you do want to find a successful store, the first thing that I would recommend is to head over to Alibaba.com. And the reason why you're going to go into Alibaba.com first is because you want to use it as a way for you to get an idea of what products people are currently dropshipping right now. So for example, if you just scroll down over here to where it says dropshipping and just click on that, from here you're going to be able to scroll through and see all of these different items, especially if you have no clue on what item you want to sell yourself. So I'm going to scroll through now and pick a product at random. So for example, there's this item right here that looks like a men's hair clipper by the looks of it. So now that I know that Alibaba.com is letting me know that this item is a popular product, the next thing that I would recommend that you do is head over to the Google Shopping homepage. And the reason why you need to come over here is because you now want to search for the item that you're looking at. In this case, we're looking at a men's hair clipper, and then it's going to show you various different stores that are currently selling it. So for example, I've just typed in men's hair clipper, and as we can see, there's all of these different stores, all of these different type of items. But of course, in this case, we're trying to find the exact same item that we was looking at on Alibaba.com. And straight away, I can see that there's this company here that's advertising this product that looks exactly the same as the one that we just looked at. So let me just click into this website. All right, so this is the page for this particular product that we're looking at. And straight away, we can see that the seller is selling it for around $58. However, on Alibaba.com right now, we can see that it's going to cost us around maybe £10, maybe around $11 in total. So they're definitely making a decent amount of profit. Now, one of the first things that I tend to look out for when it comes to me deciding on whether or not I'm going to replicate a particular store is whether or not their store is branded around a particular category. And this store definitely fits into that, because we can see that the name of their store is called beardair.com, and we can see that they got a picture of a man with a beard and a picture of a razor. Looking at their categories as well, we can see that they're focused on grooming products, hair removal, beard rollers, beard straighteners, beard growth, etc, etc. So this store is definitely worth me replicating, but one of the first things that I would recommend that you do is actually make sure that whatever store you're looking at is getting a certain amount of visitors every single month, because this is going to let you know how much money they're most likely making on a monthly basis. And the website that you're going to use for that is this one over here called SimilarWeb. So I just typed in their name right there, and straight away we can see that they're a brand new store, because in September they only got around 207 visits. In October they got around 828 visits. However, in November they've had almost 10,000 visitors, which means that this store in November probably made around $8,000 between $12,000 based on the average price that they're selling their products for. Now, a couple of reasons why this store is blowing up recently could be due to the fact that they've increased their budget when it comes to their Google ad spend, but it's also because of Google Trends. If we take a look at the men's hair clipper keyword, we can see that the search terms have been very consistent year after year after year. There was this big spike here in 2020 when it was lockdown, then it went back down to normal, but now we can see that there's another spike that's happening where Google is saying that there's most likely going to be a lot more people searching for men's hair clippers. All right, so once you're at the point where you found a product that you're happy to dropship because you know that you're going to be able to source it, whether you're going to get it from Alibaba.com, CJ Dropshipping, or AliExpress, and you've also found a store that is getting a certain amount of traffic, which means that they're most likely making sales, and you've double checked to make sure that people are searching for that keyword using Google Trends, the next thing that you need to do is now sign up for a Shopify website. And I'd recommend that you use the link in my description down below, because you're going to be able to pay around $3 and have access to your Shopify website for the next 3 months without having to spend the monthly fee that you would normally have to pay, which is around $29 every single month. So once you've clicked that link and you've entered in your email address, you're then going to go through this process where they're going to ask you a couple questions. So you can select whichever ones apply to you, or you can just click on skip. You're then going to see this page once you've signed up, and you're going to have to go through the whole process of entering your name, entering your address, giving Shopify all of your details so they can verify your account. If you also want to start the trial, you're going to have to pick a particular plan. So you're going to have to go through that. I'm not going to go through everything in today's video, but one of the things that I want to show you is this section over here when you click on online store. Once on this page, you're now going to have the option to build your store and design it in the way that you want to. Now, most beginners tend to get confused on which theme they should use. And for those of you that don't know exactly how Shopify works, when it comes to you designing your website, you're going to have the choice between free themes or paid themes. I normally recommend beginners that are looking to test out products to use a free theme, because the paid themes can be around $200, $300, and I don't think it's necessarily worth it, especially when it comes to the whole testing phase. But one other question that I get from beginners is, but Sam, what theme should I be using? Which one is the best one for me to make the most sales? stores. And to be honest, it all depends on what products you're going to be selling, what category you're going to be focused on, and what brand you're trying to build. But this is why I always bring it back to replicating a successful store, because you can also find out what theme they're using as well. So for example, if we go back to the website that we was looking at initially, which is this one, this is what their website looks like. We can see that it's pretty basic, pretty standard, but they're still able to make sales based on this app that they're using here. I can see that there's people buying items every couple hours. But of course, you may not want your website to look like this. You may not want to use this theme, but if you do find a store and you like the way it looks, the way that you're going to figure out what theme they're using is by simply copying their website just like that, and then heading over to this website, which is Shopify Theme Detector, and just paste in the URL right here and then click on Detect Theme. And as you can see right there, it says beardair.com is built using Dawn 7, which means that they're most likely using this theme over here, which is called Dawn. So Dawn is the default theme that gets added to every brand new Shopify store. But if you did want to add a different theme, all you need to do is either come down here where it says popular free themes, and you're going to be able to see all of these themes that are available to you, or you can go to the theme store and see all the other options. Now, when it comes to actually building and designing your store, the way that you're going to do that is by simply clicking on customize over here. From here, Shopify has made it very easy because it's a simple drag and drop. If you want to change anything, you can come over here, you can remove things that you want to remove, you can add whatever you want to add. And some quick tips that I want to give you guys, if you do have a low budget when it comes to designing your site and you don't really want to pay someone maybe $100, $200 on a website like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.com to design it for you, is that you can simply go back onto the website that you're replicating, look at exactly what images they've used and exactly where they've used them, and then go onto a website like Pexels.com, and you're going to be able to find royalty-free, copyright-free images that you can use on your website. But if you want to see me make a video where I build a store step by step from scratch, then put in the comments down below, do the website design video, and I'll get onto that ASAP. Now, moving on to one of the final things that I'm going to go through in this video that you definitely need to be aware of if you're a beginner, which is traffic. When I say traffic, what this means is that you need to figure out exactly how you're going to get people onto your website. And if you're new to this channel, the way that I like to get brand new customers onto my website for them to see the products that I'm selling is by using Google Shopping Ads. And for most of you that are watching this video, you already know exactly what Google Shopping Ads is. But for those of you that don't know, it's where a customer is going to go onto Google, type in a specific keyword for the product that you're selling. And if you set up your Google Ads in the right way, they're going to be able to see your website amongst all of these other ones right here. So as long as you've made sure to price your item correctly, and you've also made sure to use the most compelling image possible, there's a chance that the customer is going to click into your website and buy the item because you're obviously targeting warm traffic, rather than you using something like TikTok ads, Facebook ads, or Instagram ads. And the process to being accepted to use Google Shopping Ads is quite simple. You just need to make sure that your website is fully functioning in terms of all the links working, because Google's going to go through your website and make sure that they even want to put it on the Google Shopping homepage. You also need to make sure that you've got all of your policy pages clearly accessible to any visitor that comes onto your website. And when I say policy pages, I'm talking about your refund policy, your privacy policy, shipping policy, terms of service. For example, going back onto this website over here, if we just scroll down to the bottom, we can see that this is exactly what they've done. They've got their contact us page, which again is very important. All of these different pages right here is what you need to make sure that you have on your website for Google to accept you. Then you're simply going to go through the step-by-step process of signing up for a merchant center, making sure that you've installed the right app on the back end of your Shopify account, and you also need to make sure that you link your Google Ad account to your merchant center. And I know that might sound a little bit complicated if you're a complete beginner, but I've already made a completely free webinar where I go through my story and what I had to learn when it came to me being able to make over $1,000 every single day in profit from one of my first ever Shopify stores. So if you want to watch that free webinar, you can click the first link in the description down below. Or if you'd rather watch another YouTube video that I made not too long ago where I broke down some other key things that you need to know that I didn't really touch on in today's video that will definitely help you on the path of building your first ever dropshipping business, then make sure you click the link right there. Check that video out straight after this one because it's already helped out so many people, and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.